Hey guys, welcome back to the C2C channel. I wanted to share what's changed with me in this episode within the past year of business using the same system that I keep talking to you guys about, which is basically how we launch our programs. Honestly, it's crazy to think about this, but Lorna and I have been so fortunate to be able to do things like continue our business growth while still being able to totally experience new things in our life that I actually never thought was possible as a coach. Actually, truthfully, I never really considered it. Like if you were to tell me that 8 years ago I would be able to travel as much as I had, see parts of the world that I've seen, and build wealth in such a short period of time, really just 3 years, I would have never have believed you. I would have been like, Andrew, you're not telling the truth. That's not going to happen for me. But one thing that I would have believed is that if you were to tell me that I was destined for the unbeaten path, to be the guy who's going to do things outside of what everybody else does, then I would have been like, oh yeah, I think I believe that I'm up for that. I have always been the type of person that has never done things by the book. Never. And when I look back on my life, especially during this journey, and I share this for a reason, I actually left a job as a crane operator making 110K a year to take two part-time jobs so I could start my business as a personal trainer. And I was the first person in my family to actually ever start a business. And I got to tell you, my parents, they were completely confused. They were like, Andrew, what the hell are you doing? Like, you've got a really reasonable job and you're going to throw this away just because you think that there's some type of an opportunity here. And I remember like when I had kind of pulled into the driveway with my truck and my trailer, my mom almost died because the truck was fully logoed out. It was fully filled with fitness equipment to train people. But for me, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. And as a business owner and a coach, you know what I mean when I say if it's something for you and if it's something that you want to do, you're just going to go for it, right? Because us coaches, we're self-starters, we're igniters of ideas. We define the effort in our passion, and that's why you've all started to work on your businesses and why you became a coach in the first place. Here's why I say this. I say this because as coaches, we actually don't spend enough time looking back at everything that we've accomplished. We are always looking towards where we need to go next or what we haven't accomplished yet. So that's why this week I was actually looking back at the past year, which is something that I tend to make a habit to do every 6 months. And that's when I realized that almost every single new thing that has manifested itself in my life and in my business was a result of the way that Lorna and I launch our programs. Learning to launch just within this time span has made me $1 million in coaching. And it's hard to believe, even for me. And it's so close to, it's like 999,960, which is crazy. But in this time, we've coached close to 4,400 people so far. And it's thanks to group programs like my hormone reboot program to help balance hormones, like our Vantage program, which was our first group coaching program ever for weight loss. And then another group program we have, which is our Advantage Academy. It's hard to even recognize it, but within our group programs, our clients, they build this community around themselves. They tend to be committed and work with us for about 2 to 3 years before they make that decision to just transition on their own. And it's through that process of being able to build those people up and allow other people to come in that's allowed this journey and me being able to build all of this wealth to happen. Now, just so everybody knows, okay, making $1 million in coaching, it's not normal, okay? And I don't share this to boast or to brag. I share it because you can absolutely live completely free of restrictions if you build your coaching business properly. Okay. You need to be able to build a system that is actually sustainable long term in order for you to generate wealth long term. And this not just be something that is a part time job with you, because every single coach gets stuck at around that 10K to 15K and they can't seem to surpass that in order to be able to hire teammates, to bring on other people, other assistant coaches to grow their brand outside of themselves. Now, where coaches get this wrong is they work their butt off to market and fill just one program, But then for some reason, they just feel like they should stop marketing just to work with the people that they do have. So they literally get all of these people into this program. They're pumped. They work so hard on client delivery, and then their marketing starts to slow down and trickles to a halt. The moment you stop your marketing, the moment you slow down the process of your leads, you are minimizing the people that are going through your email sequences. You're minimizing the people going through your nurture funnels. And that is going to then dry out the people who are going to be working with you in the future. And I realized this pretty quick after I filled our Vantage program the first time, because I had gotten, and I chose 35 people for our Vantage program. I got them in the program. This is when we had our studio location. And then the Vantage program at that time was 3 months. And I was like, oh, I've got 35 people. Like, I guess I don't really need a lot of people right now. I had never considered that these people are going to finish up, that these people might not renew, that these people might make a transition. And so when only half of them chose to continue, I said to myself, oh, wow, now all of a sudden I need more revenue. I need more people. I need more people to be coaching in my program. And that is when I was like, oh shit, I need the next offer. So that's when I got to work on building the next offer and creating another value stack funnel for it. Because if you don't have these people coming in regularly, then you're going to run out of clients at that. Okay, so I can safely say that learning to launch has done more than just be able to make me money. And making money, obviously it's nice, but there are a lot of things, and I want to share this with you guys because it's something that I cannot stress enough. You are not promoting your programs enough. You're not launching them right. So I want to share with you what's literally changed for me in the process of being able to successfully launch, not one, two, holy cow, what do we got now? I think we have 8 programs at this point, not including challenges, which I think is 11. So we've got quite a lot of programs. Our recent one, our Menopause Mastery that we're running, but each and every single one of these has contributed to the success in my life. So to start, I want to share with you when our launch saved our studio location. So we had our studio location all the way coming up into COVID, and the first 4 months of our studio, we had like 15 clients. And that's when I was like, okay, this is a big challenge, because with 15 people and with a $20,000 a month overhead, including expenses for utilities and stuff, there's just no way that I can keep this open. And I literally was the type of person who thought to myself, oh, if you build it, they will come. That's not true. When it comes to building a business and to building a large amount of clients in your programs, you have to build it, market the living shit out of it, tell every single person and their mother about it, and then they will come, and then you have to convince them, of course, to join your program. So when we had built that transformation challenge to be able to build, and we took on 50 clients, I went from 15 people to 65 people in literally the 4 weeks we took to market that program. That was game changer for me. That brought close to $50,000 of revenue into my business. That was enough for me to pay for the next 2.5 months of all of my expenses. And here's the thing, when you're always looking for clients in your programs, when you're worried about paying your bills, or you're stuck at this 10 to 15K mark and you have this internal frustration because you know you could be coaching 30 people, but you're only coaching 10. It means that you have your headspace in your mindset. It means that your energy becomes focused on the wrong things. You're focusing on who's not in your program. You're focusing on the lack of clients that you have to coach instead of being excited and showing up, delivering at your highest level every single day. When I was struggling to find clients and we had those 15 people, I was in scarcity mode. I was in danger mode. People couldn't talk to me. I was always worried about stuff. Clients would tell me, man, you're going to stress yourself to death. And that's because I needed that next set of people. I needed those next couple of dollars to come in to pay my bills. And when you get into the scarcity mindset, it becomes very difficult for you to move past that, for you to make a transition into what does growth look like. So being able to bring on all these people really changed a couple of things for me. First, it made me be like, yeah, you know what? We've got 65 people that we're coaching now. And that's way different than telling someone I have 4 people I work with, right? Think about the confidence that you receive and that you build from yourself just by saying I have literally half of what I need to fill this entire facility. You talk about your programs differently. You promote your offers differently. You turn away people who aren't a good fit for your program. So when I had a few people apply, I was like, listen, I've already got 65 people. You actually don't feel like a good fit to work with us here at this location. And in doing that, it allowed me to place myself as the professional because I actually had people that I was working with. And then the other thing was I didn't have to worry about money. So now that I knew that I had my finances covered because of all of the people and all the reoccurring revenue that I had established, I could focus on delivering a better quality product and coaching these people and showing up at a high level and giving value like free content away for free. And this is where I got excited about making content and not resentful about making content. And then the third thing was in having all of these people, it saved our studio location because it built a community. You guys don't recognize the power of building a community within your program. Sure, working one-on-one people is great because they build a relationship with you, but ultimately what makes people stay long-term in a program and process is if they have a community to back them, that they can talk to, that they build friendships with, that they get excited to show up every single day, whether you're online at a facility location, it doesn't matter. You need a group of like-minded people to get them fired up to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm excited to show up every single day for your program. So that's the first thing that changed for me, being able to do our launches. Now, the next thing that I'll say is over the span of this year, like it has really saved my health by allowing me to spend thousands of dollars on the best specialists to keep my body in shape. For those of you who don't listen to the Hormone Helper podcast, I've had hormonal issues my entire life. Hormones is something that I struggled with, and that's why I became passionate about it. And my hormones were an absolute mess. I had digestive issues. I was bloated all the time. I had heavy amounts of muscle wasting. I had chronic levels of fatigue. I had skin issues. My hair was falling out. All of these things hit me while making the transition to being a coach. And if I did not take on as many people as I did and make the amount of money that I made, I would not have allowed myself or have been able to spend money on my health. Your health as a coach is literally everything because it's connected to your physical and your emotional state. If you're an unhealthy coach, if you're burnt out, if you're tired, if you're exhausted, if you have digestive issues, it's really hard for you to show up as the best coach that you can be for the people that you're working with. So in making the money that we did, I was able to pay myself more. I was able to hire private specialists, naturopathic doctors, work in private clinics, do IV injections and nutrient therapy for me to be able to get back into the shape where I could show up as my best self. Where I then went from my mid-20s being like, I'm burnt out, to then every single day being like, I don't need coffee. I feel great. I don't need to nap anymore. It completely changed how I showed up with literally everything. And my clients, it was my clients who were like, dude, you're doing something different because you look phenomenal. You went from having these baggy eyes to all of a sudden you're popping up on calls, you're attending our sessions, and you're just awake and alive. And everybody keeps telling me that to this day, that there's a level of energy that I possess, whether I'm chatting with them in person or I'm at a family event, because I've worked so much on my health. I feel great. I look great. I feel super confident. And I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't actually have the funds, of course, to invest. And I'm always investing in my health because I believe that there's always things that I could be doing to be 1 to 2% better. Like right now, for example, I'm with a clinic called MedCance, a private clinic, because I just want someone to privately monitor and watch my blood levels and make sure that everything is okay, make sure that my insulin is stable. All of this stuff I would not be able to access if I didn't have the resources to do it that coaching has allowed me to provide. Now, the next thing, when I talk about this like kind of state of energy, Like launching these programs and filling them, it's really allowed my relationship with Lorna to flourish. I can't tell you how many times being a broke or being a broken coach, which is what I call it, like really messed me up and messed up my relationship. Like the first 3 months of running business when I was really struggling with clients, I had huge amount of depression day in and day out. I was always stressed about bills. I was always worried about where we get the next client from. There would spend times where I would just drive up and down the street just trying to think of ways that I could continue to grow, and I wasn't spending that time with my partner. Lorna was the farthest from me. I felt super disconnected every single day. And then when I found the system that we have built to be able to start promoting those programs properly, immediately all of that stress and that worry went away. I had a process. I found the key. I knew what to do. And I spent less time worrying and more time being present in the moment. And I can tell you something, one of the things about being a coach and having tons of people in your program is like your relationships with your partners, with your family, they become stronger because you spend so much time talking about positive things and transformation and results that you are just a happier person. My wife Lorna, who was my girlfriend at the time, realized it and really recognized and saw within me like huge changes to my mood, to my level of anxiety, to the depression that I was feeling these random bouts of. All of that stuff started to get better because I had the capacity to work through it because I wasn't worried about certain things, right? Like if you have stresses on your plate, working to take those stresses off your plate is ultimately going to allow you to then be able to show up as the highest level version that you can be. And that's what I want for my family. That's what I want for my wife. If I have tons of people that I'm coaching and I'm making good money every month, I can take that Friday to go to the beach. I can spend that time with my dad if he wants to cut his lawn at his new place. Whatever that is, I have the time to do it, and it allows me to say yes and show up powerfully for those relationships. And that was a result of being able to promote programs consistently. Now, another thing as well is like promoting programs consistently have allowed me to travel and build my knowledge in health so I can show up as a better coach for every single one of my clients. Every single time I try something new, every single time I push myself a little farther, men's retreats, events, seminars, doing promotions for Microsoft, being able to webinars for Microsoft. I've done tons of companies at this point, but every single time I try something new, every single time I go to a new place, every single time I experience Greece and Japan and I do brand new things, it allows me to apply my experience of how to live a healthy lifestyle, even when you're doing other things in your life. So when I'm coaching somebody and they're like, ooh, I'm really struggling to go on vacation and still eat healthy. Listen, I do it and here's how I do it. I share from lived experience. When people go, hey, look, how do I develop work boundaries while still being able to work on this? Cool. All of the experiences and all of the travel that I've done have allowed me new outlooks on how I coach. Because things that I considered before about, hey, can you travel with kids? Can you travel and eat healthy? Can you work out on the fly? Can you keep your hormones stable if there's a couple of nights where you're staying up late because you've got a concert in a different country? 100%. It's yes to every single one of these things. And in making me a happier person, in filling my cup up with travel, because I love to travel, don't you think I then use that overflowed cup to pour into my clients? 100%. Me showing up as the funnest lifeless, holy cow, the vibrant person of myself, I can then expend that energy to other people guilt-free because I have the capacity to do so. If I have that extra energy, I can give it to other people. If I have that extra love or laughter, I can take that time, the extra 5 to 10 minutes with a client, the extra conversation that a family member needs, because I have filled my cup first. And that's one of the things that we always think of, like, as coaches, we spend so much time giving our energy to other people, giving our knowledge, giving our power, and we don't spend enough time filling our cups because we're too worried trying to fill our programs. We don't have enough people there, and so we can't think about ourselves. We don't have enough people to coach, and so we don't have time for our workouts. We don't have time for our health. We don't have time to travel because the priority is I need to worry about filling stuff. Okay? Here's one of the things that I'll say. The key to launching a program and the key to launching it well is you got to spend time connecting and providing value through ascension-based content. The launch, that's the most important thing of a program because you're ascending someone into the next level. You're ascending them into your world. You're teaching them, you're showing them what the best version of success could look like. This is where people looking at your feed every day can feel excited, fulfilled, and confident that you can help them as a coach. All of these good things happen to me because when I look at every single thing that I've done, like it's me ascending through energy. It's me ascending through the next best version of myself, using finances to invest in me, using finances to travel, to invest in my experiences, using a large group of people to build a community to increase my energy, to then use that energy. Even something as well, which I didn't share, like our purchase of our very first rental property, our duplex, happened because I was able to promote so many things. We had this surplus of cash that we could put in to investing into our future. And now we're looking at other ways of investing because we have a bunch of money sitting there that's, not going to invest itself. We've got to go and do something for it. All of it happened because I made the decision to start launching my programs and launch them well with a value stack system. Okay. Now, when it comes to a good launch, okay, like you guys know, like a good launch, it has an amazing offer and a program, and you already have this. You guys already have an amazing offer. You have an amazing program. Okay. But a great launch, for you to make a great launch, it's got to have that value stack system that generates leads. You have to show potential clients a bit of your coaching. You have to show them what it looks like to work with you and to be in your world every single day. Like, why am I making these videos? Why does the Coach to Coach podcast exist? Because when I'm speaking to you, when I'm sharing knowledge with you, this is what it's like to be in my world. In my world, we're going to make cheesy, corny jokes. In my world, we're going to swear occasionally. We might just dance and kind of shake our chests on the call. Who cares? Because I like to have fun through the process. I like to put my passion into whatever I'm doing, into whatever business I'm working with, into the person that's in front of me, and the same thing into our coaching calls, anything from a group perspective, lighting people up and showing people the potential of what it's like to be in my world. Because I want every single coach watching this channel, listening to my content, watching any podcast episode that I have, I want every single one of them to drive top down in their convertible car and just have their hair, I don't have any hair, but have their hair freaking blown in the bloody wind and living their life to the fullest. Because when they get to experience that, that's when they show up as the highest level of coach for them. So this stacked system for generating leads, it's about showing the potential clients a bit of your coaching, okay? This is such a big thing. It doesn't matter what this value stack system is. Could be a masterclass you do, could be a 5-day free challenge that you give them, could be a seminar like I talked about in the past session. Whatever it is, it's all about building trust. If done correctly, you can build trust, provide value, and place yourself as the professional that they need to get support from. Okay, that's all for this episode, guys. And remember, I'm running this live training on creating the first value stack funnel. August 1st is literally like around the corner. So if you want in, message me value in the DMs. You know where to find me, Andrew_hormone helper. I'm here to be able to help you, or I'll probably drop a link under this video as well too. We're going to spend time talking more, not just about launches, but also like once people start getting in the sales process, making sure that you're selling them from a place of service and that you're helping actual people with what you need. I'm going to be, of course, making some additional content as well. But through this process, building value and having a funnel system and launching your programs correctly, it's going to give you the most amount of money. It's going to give you the most amount of clients, which at the end of the day is going to give you the greatest amount of fulfillment because you're actually going to feel like a coach. Thanks for watching this episode, and see you on the next one.